Right, it's that time of year again where men around the world join forces to grow moustaches for the month of November, all in support of the annual Movember campaign. And joining me now to tell us more about the campaign and how you can lend your support is Movember Ambassador Darren Kennedy and Movember Ireland's Country Director Jack O'Connor. Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. I feel like I should do an anchorman on you.
Come on, go for it. Go for it. You look more like Magnum PI, but we'll get to that in a minute. Jack, let's start with you. Let's talk about Movember and the campaign, because it's one of those things that's just grown, if you pardon the pun, over the years. The campaign's got bigger and bigger and bigger. But probably during this particular year, it's probably more necessary than ever. Tell us why it exists.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people know that we're the world's leading men's health charity. And so what that means is we want men to live happier, healthier and longer lives. And the way that we do that is by investing in the three most critical points of men's health. So prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health and suicide prevention. And as you've mentioned, this year has been a hell of a ride for a lot of people. It's been like a pressure cooker for people's mental health. And people are worried about losing their jobs. They're worried about getting sick. Maybe their partners wrecking their heads because they're locked down together. Their kids
are
wrecking
their partners' heads.
Yeah.
Just in the sense of balance. You know what I mean? We're not angels.
Fair enough. Yeah. But it's been a tough time. So one of the things that we've really been trying to, get through to people is to stay socially connected in this time of being physically distant.
Do you think, Jack, and I'll open this to you as well, Darren, do you think as men we're getting any better at talking about stuff, particularly when it comes to mental health? Are we getting any better at it?
I definitely think younger generations are.
Yeah.
They're definitely much more in tune and more vocal about how they're feeling. At least that's my sense of it. As for myself, and I can only speak for myself, I work on it. And I don't know, I think it's definitely a cultural thing, obviously, here in like Irish men in particular. We tend to hold back more so than maybe some of our European counterparts in terms of how we're feeling and how we verbalise things and how we express ourselves. But like that's the whole thing in lockdown. It's been, I was in isolation on my own. It's like you absolutely need to just open up and have those conversations with friends and family on the phone and let them know how you're feeling.
Is it that age-old thing of it's almost admitting that it's a sign of weakness or something to ring somebody and say, listen, I'm struggling here, I need help?
Yeah, like help-seeking behaviour is something that those guys are really not very good at. And we see this in prostate cancer, testicular cancer and in mental health, that one of the first things we really needed to do was to get guys to actually seek help when they noticed something wasn't right. And that could have been noticing a potential indicator of prostate cancer, like issues with urination, and saying, okay, I need to go get this sorted out.
Yeah.
What us guys tend to do is play the ostrich and stick our head in the sand.
It'll go away.
It all goes away.
Yeah, it'll go away. Yeah, you stick your fingers in your ear and go la 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 la. It's not going to get any worse, but of course it does.
Yeah, and so being proactive around your health and taking the first step, and whether that's talking to somebody or whether it's booking in with your GP is super important.
First step's always the hardest. Why did you get involved in the campaign, Darren?
Do you know what? I've always admired what Movember have done for the past few years, and for me, I originally watched when you kind of started out, and it was all about prostate cancer and testicular cancer. And then obviously over the past couple of years, the remit has widened to include kind of suicide prevention and obviously mental health. And I think that's, our mental health is so important. And I think it is important to recognise that it is a scale. So, just because perhaps, some people suffer from depression and they're treated for it, and there are other people who necessarily aren't clinically depressed but go through waves of depression. And I think it's acknowledging that there are times even when you technically are fine and you for the most part you feel good in yourself, but you can dip. And I think it's okay to kind of say that.
Yeah, and everything might appear okay on the outside.
Exactly, and to say, I'm having a bad day. Yeah. And sometimes I think, guys, we have this things like, how you doing? Oh, I'm grand. It's a default answer. It means nothing.
It's an automatic
It's like
response,
actually, if you scratch a little bit deeper, and it's okay to say, well, actually, I'm really struggling today. It's a grey day, I'm stuck in the house, I'm on my own and I haven't seen anybody, and it's actually really tough, and that's okay.
And I'm struggling, I'm a bit down. What should we be looking out for in terms of our mental health? If you think one of your pals or your brother or your relation of yours is struggling, are there telltale signs that should alert us to go, maybe I should ask him rather than just, how are you? Say, is everything all right?
Yeah, for sure. It's getting more difficult now when we're not seeing each other face to face to spot the signs. But some of the things we can look out for now in a lockdown are things like if, the guy who's normally the king of the group chat suddenly goes dead quiet.
Yeah.
Or someone who's normally really laid back is biting the head off people. These kind of changes in behavior can be an indicator that someone might just be going through something or struggling with something that's not immediately apparent. And if that's the case, we'd encourage people to do the ALEC model. So that's ask them how they're doing. And maybe, ask them 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Because as we said, they'll likely say, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Listen to what they've got to say, encourage action, and check in with them the day after
Very
the
good.
weekend.
I like that.
Yeah, it's very simple, very simple. In terms of the campaign then, it's always looked on every year as a bit of crack because fellas are walking around with moustaches that would never have moustaches normally. How can people get involved in the campaign? What do they do?
Yeah, first step is to go to Movember.com where you can sign up as a Mo bro or a Mo sister. And you can
Mo bro or Mo sister, I love it.
Maybe we'll see your moustache this year.
It would take, I'd say, from here to 2026 to grow one. Even
So hard on yourself.
I wouldn't be able to grow one. How long did that take you to grow?
Do you know what? Actually, pretty swiftly. Yeah, I'd say 10 days. And I was tidying it up last night for you.
Oh,
You'd be
really?
glad to hear.
You were grooming.
But I almost took the right wing off because I had done it and it was perfect. And then I was like, no, there's a little bit sticking up there. You know the way you focus in on something a little
And
bit
you
too
took
much.
the whole lot off.
And I was like, I'll get the electric razor. And I did, and I was like, nying, nying, and it literally went in. Now, it's fine. If you look up close, there's a bit of a disaster going on.
I mean, you're not tempted to go the whole hog and do beard the whole lot, no?
Well, do you know, before I shaved last night, I kind of had like the basis of a beard. But no, it is, the mustache is that thing, isn't it? It is the signifier, because a lot of people wear beards. But I think what I might do is, as time progresses, I might do a bit of a Jack on it, kind of grow the stubble, which softens.
Yeah, Jack's rocking it, in fairness, isn't he?
Yeah,
I mean, you've a bit to go, Darren. Well, it's a great start.
I'm like, is it not like itchy on his lower lip?
It must be making me itchy looking
You
at him.
can end up nibbling a few follicles.
Well, listen, it's an incredible campaign. It always is every year. Just tell people how they can head to your website. What's the website?
Movember.com, sign up to grow moustache.
And they get all the
Take
details there.
yeah.
Darren, thanks for coming in. Jack,
Pleasure.
good to see you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Right, we're about to find out more. If you want to find out more about this year's Movember campaign, you can, as Jack said, log on to Movember.com. Right, coming up, we are supporting homegrown beauty products with our resident beauty queen, Trina McCarthy. Don't go anywhere.